5th, our readings are Joshua 7, Psalm 137, 138, Jeremiah 1, and Matthew 15. We're going to spend our time in Joshua chapter 7. Notice verse 1 sets the tone for the chapter. But the people of Israel broke faith in regard to the devoted things, for Achan, the son of Carmi, son of Zabdi, son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took some of the devoted things. And the anger of the Lord burned against the people of Israel. Now, a few weeks back on Sundays we were in Acts chapter 5, and this is the parallel message in the Old Testament. The Old Testament message here of Achan and his sin that God says, hold on, not okay. New Testament, Acts chapter 5, Ananias and Sapphira, similar kind of deal. And so what happens is they're unaware for the most part. Now, what we don't see in these verses 2 through 5 is Joshua calling upon the Lord as far as the battle plan, as far as what they should do. So they send out spies. It says it's not a big deal, just send 3,000 and it'll be fine. So they go up there and 36 get killed and the rest get chased and everyone's heart melts, says the end of verse 5. In other words, all that excitement, all that fervor, all that passion, all that belief and faith is slowly going down the tubes in one moment. And so Joshua responds this way, verse 6. Joshua tore his clothes and fell to the earth on his face before the ark of the Lord until the evening, he and the elders of Israel, and they put dust on their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, why have you brought this people over the Jordan at all, to give us into the hands of the Amorites, to destroy us? Would that we have been content to dwell beyond the Jordan. O Lord, what can I say? When Israel has turned their backs before their enemies, the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land will hear of it. They will surround us. They will cut us off from the name of the earth. And what will you do for your great name? He's kind of not happy with God. He's kind of thinking God's left them out to dry, hung them out to dry. And he doesn't know. And so in their prayer time, maybe a little less accusatory, a little more seeking, a little more waiting, a little more listening. It's very quick, it's very easy for us to blame God when things go bad. And just like Joshua, we don't have all the information. Just like Joshua, we're assuming certain things. We're presuming upon God to do certain things. And we don't have all the information. And that's true when God does or doesn't do certain things that we think he should be doing. That's true in other people's lives, and there's a lot we don't know. So God responds to Joshua, verse 10, Get up, why have you fallen on your face? Israel has sinned. They have transgressed my covenant that I commanded them. They have taken some of the devoted things. They have stolen and lied and put them among their belongings. Therefore the people of Israel cannot stand before their enemies. They turn their backs before their enemies because they have become devoted for destruction. I was like, get up. Why are you on your face? Israel sinned. They've taken of the things that were not to be taken. And so therefore, they cannot stand. Sin is in the camp. We need to cleanse and change and root out. So this is what he says, get up, consecrate the people, consecrate yourselves tomorrow. Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, there are devoted things in your midst, O Israel. You cannot stand before your enemies until you take away the devoted things from among you. Like, it's not going to work. You can't be halfway about it. You can't live in the world and just have a sprinkle of God. You can't have God and a sprinkle of the world. You got to be all in for Jesus. That's what he's teaching him here. You've got to be all in for the law of God. New Testament church, you got to be all in. You can't hide things. You can't be passive about sin in our lives. We've got to be all in. And so they bring all the tribes before. Eventually, verse 19, verse 18, he brought near his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, son of Zabdi, son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said to Achan, My son, give glory to the Lord God of Israel, and give praise to him. Tell me now what you have done. Do not hide it from me. Like, you've already been picked out by the Lord, so spill the beans, dude. And he's doing it with gentleness and respect, which is what Paul instructs us to do with those that sin. To do it with gentleness and respect. Why? Because lest you would fall yourself. That you would think you're so mighty and you're so strong, and you treat someone poorly. No, you do it with gentleness and respect. And so end result here is Achan and his family get stoned. They die. And it's a hard thing to read. And yet there's lessons there that are lasting for the people of Israel. God's not messing around with the law of God. God's not joking when he gives the law. He desires for his people to follow. And he's got a way for that to look like. And in that way, in that obedience, there's blessing. In that obedience, there's hope and there's peace. And apart from that, there's no obedience. Apart from that disobedience and falling away, there's no hope and there's no peace. The same is true in our lives. Stick close to the Lord. Keep short accounts with him. Confess. Turn from sin. Till next time, keep growing.